I don't know what the hell this is. Is that normal? I'm so over this plant. That's why it looks the way it looks right now. I forgot what it's called. No clue what this one is called. Is it Latin? I don't know. This one died terribly and it was probably my fault. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're beautiful and please keep doing what you do. Welcome to this video. Today I want to give you a little houseplant tour. They've been growing and changing a lot, so I think it will be really nice to document this moment in time and see how they're doing in a couple months from now. Secondly, I also wanted to use this as more like a chatty kind of video and just talking to you because I haven't done this much yet. That also leads me to my third reason why I wanted to do this video is to kind of practice a little bit talking to the camera because it's something that I still struggle with a lot. Obviously, I just started making videos, so it's probably not the weirdest thing that I'm struggling with this, but I feel like a casual kind of chatty blah 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 kind of video will help me and will make me more comfortable talking to the camera. So that's why I'm here today. So I want to show you today my 40 plants. I have 40 plants I counted before this video. I'm by no means any kind of plant expert or anything like that. I got a lot of them in the last couple months. I think probably like 3 months ago I ordered a bunch of plants, and before that I had maybe like 2 or 3 since I moved into this apartment. And yes, let's get into the plants. By the way, if you are a new viewer, my name is Maxi, this is Diego, and usually I make videos about the little joys in life, about my life here in Barcelona, about traveling, and I share that with you. So first up we have my monstera. As you can see, I wanted to show you this one first because this is the very first plant that I got for this apartment when I moved in August 2024. I think I got this one from IKEA if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, look at this crazy leaf. She's been through some things. Earlier I had her in this spot and I think actually maybe it wasn't like the best lighting conditions for it, but now it's kind of thriving. Also, I propagated this plant, so I'll show you later when we get to my office space because there I have the propagated plant. This one actually is the latest leaf. I'm super happy with this one because it's quite big. It has some fenestration, I think it's called, the holes. I don't know what it's called. You can tell that it's gone through stuff. This leaf, for example, is super floppy. I don't know what the hell this is. And also it has this tiny little leaf here. I don't know, is that normal for monsteras to grow this tiny? It's not even like remotely the shape of a monstera leaf. Whatever, it's growing and I think it's doing pretty well here. So I'm happy that I put it in a better place than it was before. I just realized it's super difficult to record any of these plants here because they're standing right by the balcony window and the backlight is crazy, but I hope you can see it. This is my fiddle leaf fig, my ficus lyrata. I have no clue how to say it. This one, in my very first video, I repotted it because, yeah, it was sitting in terrible soil. Now it's been doing fantastic. It's been growing like crazy. It grows like 3 leaves at once, even though it's lost, and you can't really see right now, but it's lost a ton of leaves on the stem. It used to be like fuller when I bought it, but it's lost a lot of them, and it was probably my fault, but now it's growing again, and I think it's pretty happy here. Okay, oh my god, it is so complicated to film this. I didn't realize this before. So yeah, I decided to put the tripod and the camera outside. They're literally on the balcony recording inside, but whatever, it is what it is. So this is probably like my biggest display of plants that I have at the moment, or at least the highest number of plants. It has 4, I'll put some b-roll over it. It has 4 shelves of like 3 to 4 plants each. So I think this is 4 times 3, 12 plus 1 is 13. This is 13 plants. Okay, let's start with this one. This is probably my Sorgenkind at the moment. How do you say that in English? Like the problem child at the moment, because this one had an infection of trips. I also don't know what that's called in English, but these little flies, I think they look like flies to me. And it spread all over all the other plants, but this one was hit pretty hard. So that's why you can see it has like a lot of like browning on the leaves, and it has a lot of these like silverish stains on the leaves. Well, first of all, it's called Dieffenbachia. I love the variegation on it, the white parts and the super dark green parts. It's beautiful. But I got this one in the first place because it's said to be really, really easy to take care of. And I feel like it's not. Maybe I'm an idiot and maybe this is a me issue, but it seems very dramatic to me when it doesn't get enough water. I mean, yes, obviously I should make sure that it does get enough water, but it loses leaves pretty easily, or they get like these super brown spots around the outsides. I still love it, but it's a little dramatic at the moment. And I have 2 more of these, which I'll show you in a second. This one is one of my favorites. I think this was my 3rd plant that I ever had. Did I mention that the ficus was my 2nd? I think I forgot to mention that, but that was my 2nd plant. It had lost a lot of leaves, so the stem was really, really long, and it only had like 3 or even 2 leaves, I think, at the top. So I propagated this one and turned it into 3 of them. This one is supposed to be a little bit more dramatic when it doesn't get enough water, but it's not as dramatic as that one. So this is the first one. This is the second one that has 3 little leaves. It's not growing as happily as the other one. This one was definitely also affected by the infection, and this one was definitely affected by the infection, which is the 3rd one. They're all beautiful and they're all thriving. Next up, we have this one. I have no clue what this one is called. It grows like crazy. I love the purple on the leaves. So beautiful. The only thing is I had to put it in a pot that's a little bit deeper so the vines wouldn't go like flat all over the place. So now they go a little bit more up. But even with this, like, they're super long, so I give them until here, until they fall again. This one is, I think in German it's called Pünktchenpflanze. I think I remember ChatGPT telling me that it's called Pünktchenpflanze. It used to look crazy. I'll put a photo here. It was like this tall. Oh, maybe I should not move the microphone. It was like this tall. So I actually propagated this one. I'll show you in a second. I cut it off a little bit to promote some growth, and that it doesn't only have like one huge stem that grows like crazy. Then we have this one, which is a little succulent. I love this pot. This is from Flying Tiger. This is actually supposed to be like a toothbrush holder, I think, this thing, but it's so cute. I love it so much. So I decided to put this little succulent in here to make it look like it has hair. This one has a cute little story. A couple months ago, I went on a trip. I had a dog sitter over who was taking care of Diego. When I came back, there was this plant, and I was like, where did this plant come from? I also asked my boyfriend, I was like, did you randomly buy this plant? Which really doesn't sound like him. So I was like, why did you buy a plant? And then turned out she bought it, and she was like, yeah, I thought it was cute. I thought it went well with the other one, with the Pünktchenpflanze. So I bought it for you. I was like, so cute. Thank you. And it also has really beautiful colored leaves. So it's a nice addition to my shelf here. Here we have something that I also really love the story of. This is a spider plant. I had been looking for a spider plant for a while, and by looking for a spider plant, I mean looking for a spider plant somewhere where I could take a cutting off of, because I wasn't going to buy one. And then my boyfriend just cut this one off of a spider plant from, I know this is a little bit of a shitty thing maybe, but he cut this off of someone's plant that was standing in front of their door. But it was tiny, and the plant had like tons of little baby plants. So he kind of stole this one from me. It's a little bit romantic. First, I propagated it in water to get roots, and then I planted it in this tiny little pot. So cute. Speaking of water propagation, this one I have been having in water for quite a while now. It has a crazy root system already. I was gonna plant this into soil. Just today, actually, I changed my mind because I found a really great spot in the kitchen that could also use some greenery. I kind of only have really good natural lighting here in the living room and in the office. Directly by the kitchen window, I figured I could hang this somehow. I think it would be a perfect spot because I know this one is also not super iffy about getting a lot of light. And also by the time it grows vines and it kind of like hangs down, I think it would be really beautiful hanging down next to the kitchen window. And here we have another one of these. I actually also propagated these. Both of these were coming from the original mother plant before. I propagated these first in water, and then I planted them, and then I also propagated the other ones. So the original mother plant doesn't exist anymore because it was kind of not doing so great. But this one is thriving lately. In the last couple weeks, maybe like the last month, it's been thriving like crazy. So I think it's finally happy in the soil that I put it in. It's also starting to like hang a little bit with like a decent amount of light. They're doing really, really well. And then lastly, we have these two little ones. One of them I have in this cute little San Francisco. I think this is not even a planter. This is supposed to be for like a tea light or something. And I think this was also here already in my apartment when I moved in here. I didn't buy this, but it's kind of cute because, fun fact, I used to live in San Francisco actually. So it's kind of, well, it's not a memory because I didn't get it, but it's nice to have this anyway. And the other one is a little cactus that I've also had for a while, but I don't remember how long. Come here. Okay, so I had to pull this away from the window for a second because the backlight was crazy. I couldn't record it properly. This is another one of the Dieffenbachia, which is also super dramatic. I think it's because it's in a really tiny pot, so it dries out pretty quickly. And like I said with the other one, once it gets dry, it gets really dramatic. It's also growing, and I think it's also growing a little baby here on the side. So here we have the propagated propagations, from the Pünktchenpflanze, which are not doing the way I imagined it. I thought they were gonna grow roots in like a week or two or something. It's already been 2 weeks and I don't see anything. So I'm not sure if this has any more potential. They're still green, they're still alive. Some of them are a little bit sad, but my hope was for them to grow roots so I could plant them again into the mother plant to have like a fuller, bushier plant. But it's not looking so great at the moment. I'll give them another 1 or 2 weeks. Let's see. Okay, my camera died. So let's pick it up where we left off. This, oh my God, this one has an interesting story as well. Remember how I was talking about the trips infection? This is a little syngonium. You can see that it's growing a little bit, but I think this one was probably the source of the infection because this one died terribly. I mean, it didn't die because obviously it's still growing. I was wondering the whole time what is wrong with this plant because also it's supposed to be one of the ones that's easy to take care of, and it was dying so quickly and so unexpectedly. So that's why I think it was the source maybe of the infection, but it's recovering. I'm keeping it a bit closer to the light now. Before I had it on the coffee table and I think it's fine. This one is also a really, oh, it's standing in a little bit of water, so I won't pick it up. This is a Strelitzia regina. I have no idea how to say half of these, or even more than half, 70% of these plant names, because it's all like, is it Latin? It's probably Latin words. I don't know. For me anyway, pretty easy to take care of. I have it like right next to the window. It's grown these 2 leaves, I think, as long as I've had it. Yes, I'm very happy with this one. And then lastly, we have this little cactus. It looks so perfect. It looks like the perfect little cactus from a book. Do you know what I mean? That it looks like a desert, like from a cowboy movie, that kind of cactus, but very tiny. Also, it was like I think I bought it for like $2.50 at a bazaar very close to my house. The only thing, I have to be really careful with this one because it doesn't really have spikes. It has like hair. The little hairs, they are spikes. So when I touch it, they break off. It's very spiky on my skin and it's very hard to get off. So I prefer not to touch this one. And I think that's it for this little table here. Okay, I just realized I forgot to mention one, which is this other ficus that I have. It's a different one. I think it's called Elastica, mainly because I don't have a plate for it. I keep it in the soil of the big ficus. It's also grown one tiny little leaf already since I have it. But it takes forever to grow. Oh my God, I have another one that you'll see in a bit, and they take forever to grow. Okay, let's get to this one. Also one of my OG plants. I think this was probably the 5th one that I got. I lost track of counting, but I love this plant. It's one of the easiest plants ever to take care of. It's so chill. It doesn't give a shit about anything. It's probably the plant that's the furthest away from light, and it grows like crazy. It has really long vines already. I took cuttings of it. I have 2 more that I'll show you in a second. It's so full, it's so lush. It has beautiful variegated leaves. This doesn't really need much attention at all. It's fantastic. I love this plant. Here we have one of the just mentioned cuttings from my pothos plant. Yeah, it's doing well, it's growing well, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to focus on this cute little planter that I made myself. I made this in a pottery workshop. It was my gift for my birthday that just passed. Oh my God, it's already been 4 months. 3 months? But yeah, I made this little planter. It has holes at the bottom, of course, and it's supposed to be inspired by the Pokemon Ditto. It doesn't fully look like it, but it turned out really cute, and I made a little plate with it as well, so the water doesn't go everywhere. Look how cute his haircut is. Okay, moving on to the second biggest display of plants that I have after my shelf over there. This is the second pothos cutting plant. Well, I guess it's not really cuttings anymore. It's like it has turned into its own plant. This was a while ago. This was probably like 4 months ago already, but it's growing, it's thriving. Like I said, I love this plant so much. I would have 10 more of pothos because they're just really uncomplicated. Then here we have one that is a little bit complicated. I forgot what it's called. Something like fairy tale or something. I'll put it on the screen. But this one has crazy leaves. Look at these. They're very special. It's almost like furry in a way and really juicy. I just watered this today. I don't know why it's looking so sad. It looks a little sad overall. I don't know. Then next we have, oh, this is also sitting in a little bit of water because I just watered it, so I'm not gonna take this, but this is another ficus, whatever it's called, elastica, and it's growing a new leaf. Look, it looks like it's kind of going bad. Honestly, it looks like it's struggling, but no, this is a new leaf, so I think it's still developing that typical dark green color. Here we have, this is fascinating to me because this is probably the most complicated plant that I have, and it is a little bit like, it's a little dramatic. It has a couple of brown spots here and there, but this one grows like crazy. The only thing I have to do is make sure that it doesn't dry out, which is really easy with this one because it covers the soil so much with the leaves and the stems and everything that the soil doesn't really dry out really quickly. So it's pretty easy not to let it dry out. It grows like crazy. I don't know if you can see this. This one here, it always has like these little rolled up leaves when they first come out. And I swear at any given point, it has at least like 3 growing leaves. Let me see if I'm lying. 1, 2, okay, I might be lying. Okay, at the moment it only has 2 growing rolled up leaves, but still, I don't know why this is not being dramatic with me, but thank you so much. You're beautiful, and please keep doing what you do. This is this is one of the few ones that I know the exact name. This is oh my god, now I'm not sure. I think this is a Philodendron Brazil. I think it is. Okay, I'll look it up. Also, supposed to be really easy to take care of. It has beautiful leaves with this variegation in the middle, which I think is super interesting. I gave it a little bit of a bamboo stem and fixated the stems with plant Velcro is what it's called. This is like a climbing plant. So apparently when it climbs, the leaves, the higher they get, the bigger they get. So what I'm trying with this one is to get some really, really big leaves. So far, I'm not really seeing that. Let's see where this goes. But I'm hoping to get like huge leaves at the top. That's my goal. Let's see if we get there. And that was everything for the living room, which has the most plants. I forgot to count the exact number that is in the living room, but I have a couple more on the balcony that I'm going to show you now, and then we'll move on to the office. Okay, I decided to do this with B-roll only because I know this is my practice video, talking in front of the camera, but I feel a little bit awkward standing on my balcony and talking to the camera. So first of all, I have a lavender here. I know it looks very sad and I know it looks like it's drowned in water right now, but I just watered it. But usually I keep the soil pretty dry because I know that lavender is okay with dry soil. Maybe it was a little bit too dry. I don't know why it looks like that, but I think this is normal as far as I can tell. Then we have a little palm tree right here. I think this is called Dracene or something like that. This is like a super typical IKEA plant, but I didn't get it from IKEA, this one. Also very forgiving. I water it every couple days and it's super happy on the balcony getting a lot of sun. And then we have my aloe vera that I love because my mom gifted it to me last year. It's also been through a couple of rough times. It also had an infection, but not a trips infection, but like a lice infection. In German, it's Wollläuse, so I think it's like lice. I washed it, I treated it, I washed it again, and now it's looking super healthy and super happy. So I'm glad it survived because, like I said, it means a lot to me. The last one I have outside is, I think it might be a little money tree, which is my little table decoration. Also super forgiving and easy to take care of. Oh, and by the way, this little succulent thingy, I'm letting that sit in the extra water of the lavender because I'm hoping that it will get roots. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I think it did get a little bit of roots. I don't think it's ready yet to be planted, so I'll just put it back and hope that it survives. All right, now we are in the office, which is the, oh my God, it's so dark. What the fuck? Okay, so now we're in the office, the last room with plants. This one is also very dear to my heart because this was a birthday gift from two of my closest friends. Shout out to Ermina and Bia. Look at this one. Beautiful pink leaves. In general, I love plants that have colorful leaves instead of only colorful petals. I mean, I also love colorful petals, but I think it's so impressive when, oh my God, what the hell is going on? I'm shooting on manual, but I don't know why my camera keeps adjusting the light and it's really dark. Oops, oh my God, I'm sorry, Diego. I'm sorry, Diego. Oh yeah, you wanna say hi? Hello. Moving on to this one. This is the third Diefenbachia that I have, which I think is the least dramatic one, but it also has a couple of brown spots. Also a little bit further away from the window, and I think this one as well would probably benefit from brighter light, but it's kind of like I don't really have a good space closer to the window to keep plants. So these two are gonna have to be fine with this spot, but I think they are fine because they're doing pretty well. Now this is my second monstera, which I propagated from the big monstera. It also went through some rough times. It has some leaf burn because I put it outside on the windowsill. Because it wasn't really doing anything, I thought maybe it needs more sun, so I put it outside. Turns out it was a little bit too much sun and it got a little bit of leaf burn, but now it's doing really well because just recently it grew this leaf and I can tell that it's growing a new leaf here already. So it's doing well. This is my last indoor plant that I have. This is called a ZZ plant. I'm not entirely sure what the ZZ stands for. If you know these, I think this is actually the easiest to take care of house plant that there is in this world. It has these things that are called rhizomes. Yes, I know what that's called. It looks like a little root ball in the soil, and I think it saves a lot of water for the plant, so it really barely needs any watering. It's also really fine in low light conditions, and I think it gets like an okay amount of light here and it's doing fine. So I think this is a good spot for it. Finally, here we have a couple of succulents and cacti. I keep them outside on the windowsill. That's the sunniest spot throughout the entire day. I know that these need a lot of sun. Oh my God, we're not gonna talk about this one though. This is a string of hearts. I'm so over this plant. That's why I kind of ignored it, and that's why also it looks the way it looks right now. I could not figure out where to put this plant, how to take care of it, and how to just make it happy, but at some point I decided, okay, I'm over it, and yeah, I'm sorry. All right, well, that concludes my plant tour. I know it was kind of all over the place and a little bit rambly, and I'm afraid this is gonna be a really, really long video, but it's okay. That was also kind of the goal for me because, like I said, I wanted to practice a little bit talking to the camera, and I think I got some really good practice in. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was interesting to you. Other than that, I hope I'm gonna see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.